All right, Johnny, are you there?
Yep.
Nope.
Awesome,
Nope.
you were really
Nope.
quiet.
Nope.
So we've just got everything from the warehouse packed into Death from Close and Afar. All the robo parts and all that. From the warehouse. So do we want to A, see what we can do with the robotics parts and maybe increase our fighting potential? B, go to the power plant and start purifying massive quantities of water, or C, go to the water plant and fix what's broken.
The only thing that's wrong with me right now is I kind of need to figure out my situation before I can continue. Because if I get into a situation where there's another carrier, I'm completely fucked again. So I need to more or less fix my situation before I can help. But I can lend support in getting these robots all up and running for you. So maybe that would be extra hand.
So, Broke here, do you have any input on which we should do? I think Death from Close and Afar to for research, for Johnny to fix himself, and for the robots for your new friend would probably be the best bet.
We just need some power cells, and then Lost can take control of some of these robot bodies, and we can have ourselves a little bit of extra backup and muscle to help move more loot in the future. So maybe we know that I know there's that one chick who deals in power cells, so maybe we just go to her and see if we can acquire some off of her.
So yeah, definitely need power cells, and definitely we probably should go to the mechanist and rent out his space in order to do this. I'm sure he would also help, but you're gonna have to make some cash, I guess, in order for this to work out.
I
just
can
also on a time limit here. We got a week to do our 3 tasks. Then there's like this virus thing we've got to deal with. Then the mysterious black goo.
We probably shouldn't have. The weak thing is it's a hit or miss because we don't know how it's going to affect us. If she's going to be taken out beforehand, we'll have to. But when it becomes crunch time, then we're gonna be like, yeah, we should probably get this done if we haven't heard back from Saudi or anything like that.
Yeah, but like, what if one of the things on the list is like on the other side of the planet, and we've got like 2 days?
Well, we won't know anyway until it's translated. Nothing we can
Exactly.
do there. And to get it translated, we need to keep in good with the Goodfellows.
They just got a generator from us. I'm pretty sure that should make them pretty happy.
Yeah, it's more. She has to take time in order to figure it out, right? So.
Yeah. So you said there was a woman who dealt in power cells? Sorry, technology is not my thing.
You should remember her. She kicked you out of her shop.
No,
Oh,
that was the other guy.
That wasn't Kess?
Oh, are you sure?
Press.
Press?
I thought Power Cell chick kicked us out with a plasma shotgun.
She did, just not Johnny's character. Well, yeah, it was Johnny's character, but
Viridian, yeah. Viridian got kicked out with him.
I was outside. I said,
Quinlad
but I
got kicked
understood
out,
what
and
happened.
Viridian was sitting in the corner.
She kicked you out as well as more. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I could attempt to barter with her with a spell, but I don't know how many power cells I would get, and I'm not nearly technologically sound enough to get you something perfect.
Oh, no, as long as you call something wealth, then probably work something out there.
But the thing is, it has to be wealth to her. She's a robot, so she doesn't need food. She's got power, so she doesn't need power.
It could be anything, though. We should more or less go check it out first. Let's talk to Mechanist since he's closest, and then we'll go to the power cell lady. Maybe we can get some more.
Why are we talking to him?
More or less because he's going to be more effective with these robots than
Any of us would.
yeah.
But they're
So-
already built and stuff. We just need a power cell.
Are they already built?
Yeah, we have a bunch of spare
seven of
parts,
them.
and we have
Seven of them?
We have spare parts.
And we're gonna house them
in.
inside of the Death from Close from Afar.
Yes, so far that's where they are right now.
Yeah, all we need is the power cells in order to get them up, and then I look at Lost, and I'll be like, you can take control of them then, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah.
So power and fuel. Alright, I will see what I can do.
I would help, but she probably doesn't want to see me right now. You know, walking tech aids and everything.
That's true. And Broke here. Well, I don't know. She has no problem against Broke here.
No problem.
No, but unless she has a problem with a mutant.
All his weapons.
Oh yeah, he can't really take those off.
I
All right.
actually can take them off, by the way.
Okay.
But would you want to?
It would take a while, so maybe you should just go.
Yeah. All right. So, tell me exactly. I need a name, number, what brand?
I'm just gonna look at Lost and be like, do you know exactly what we need?
Just a universal converter cell.
7 universal converter cells. Got it.
So, UCCs. We had a battery that you could put in all the standard tech that be run off the same power source. Because wouldn't it nice to have universal batteries?
All right. Before I go in, because I don't know if something of value would happen to be a weapon, I am going to cast Call Wealth at. You know what? Let's go big or go home. Call Wealth at 300 mana. Roll 1d100.
First roll of the day.
Oh, that's dot
Only if
roll.
you could
Slash roll 1d100.
Oh, 66.
It's not great, but it's a ton of mana investment.
Yes.
You sure you don't want to re-roll it with a fate point?
I'm gonna save it for my influence rolls later.
I know, I was joking.
I considered it though. I mean, 1 on a 300 mana wealth roll would be pretty intense.
Well, to be fair, we also have robots to trade for the cells.
Yeah, we have lots of parts.
You get something large. It wasn't a great roll, but you did put a lot of mana into it. You get a vacuum cleaner, and it's a nice one.
Is it at least man portable, or is it like a plug-in one?
It's man portable. Basically, you can just roll it around, but it's not a small thing. It's one of those industrial strength ones with the little floor scrubbers too. You're not sure if this would be good for this lady, but
No
could be
reason not
valuable
to
someone
ask.
else.
I was
No
gonna say, I think
reason
we
not
need
to
someone who would hang
Oh my god, you're the vacuum cleaner salesperson that goes door to door.
Yeah.
You want a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, maybe she is in desperate need of a vacuum cleaner for some reason.
Now let me tell you why you need a vacuum cleaner.
Maybe she's a germaphobe since she's a robot, right? Maybe she just doesn't like biology. I don't know.
All right, he
Filthy,
is.
filthy!
So there's
World
like an
Warcraft
intercom
players.
button thing where I can push and ask to come in, and she'll say, "Drop my weapons, possibly," or just go away since I don't like your face, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the normal mode.
All right, he is going to press the button.
Yep.
Hello, miss. We met earlier. I apologize for the rudeness of my friend, but I have an item here that you might perhaps be interested in. I don't carry any weapons on me.
We also have other tech to sell, so you can also if you want to barter with parts. We have lots of parts. Matt, can you send us a part list or something like that?
It's not really a part list. It's just standard robot parts.
More or
legs,
less how much
arms.
we have. Like,
Um,
I can write it down.
have you guys cataloged it? Have you
No,
guys gone through each box?
I haven't
No.
know yet.
Then no.
Okay, never mind. I will later.
It's
then.
got a lot of parts.
Okay.
Replacement robot parts, really, for a standard maintenance robot. So nothing fancy, but usable.
Mhm.
What are you trying to sell?
An industrial strength vacuum cleaner.
I'm good. I got those.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go.
We tried.
We can try again. Let's go catalog this shit.
I'm gonna drag my vacuum cleaner along. I spent a lot on this.
I'm gonna.
There's definitely some stores that could use it, though.
Like Mr. Sanders might want to trade
Mr.
something for it, or
Sanders.
But,
I'm gonna go see what he wants.
or Meat's Big and Small, because that storefront just got blown up.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And she's
sounds
got a
like
lot
she's
of-
always tidying up and sweeping and shit.
got lots of
That's
meat.
true. I don't want any meat.
Well, that's not the only thing she's got.
She's got a lot of meat.
Well, that's what she sells, but doesn't mean she doesn't have personal
Well, she
possessions.
has.
It's up to you. You guys have really went hard at bones and trinkets, but you could go try and sell it to Mr. Sanders. It's just he'd probably be interested in not a vacuum cleaner because he's not exactly well-to-do.
And he doesn't seem like he particularly cares that it's a bit dusty in there.
No, it's just I don't have anyone.
You could talk. Well, I'd go talk to Biggs, Meat, and Small. Since Matt can't give you a hint there, we could try and find something else.
I'm just trying to point out the store. Sebastian's Bistro probably would like that because it's a
Tidying.
restaurant.
Yeah. I got all the Arcana-related books and a special bonus from Mr. Sanders last time. We've increased his wealth, but eventually he'll run out of things to pay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to give you a list of places that still have supplies to actually buy something that
I think
their place
the
clean.
place to start would be Meat Big and Small, but it's your vacuum.
Yeah, I don't
Your
want
magical
meats
vacuum
big
you
and
pulled out
small.
of nowhere. It's your
I
magic
mean, you
vacuum.
were a little queasy last time you went in. That's true.
You
Yeah.
want me to go talk to her?
I can also talk to her if you want. She doesn't really care about me.
Yeah.
You want me to bring the vacuum in and show it to
How
her?
about this?
The moment you remember the horror from the inside, what really overcomes that is that scary face that kind of scared you out of your little funk. You're like, I could read. You're gonna die. So a narcissist's face pops up and it's like, you need to be stronger.
You die.
Ugh. Let's go to Meats Big and Small. Viridian looks green in the face, but he also looks like he's gonna get something out of this vacuum cleaner.
Yeah,
Even if it's just like 100 pounds of meat for Broke here to chomp down on.
she would not be against. Like he probably couldn't eat it all, but meat is meat. And you can always, if 100 pounds of meat, you can always trade it to other people for stuff.
That's true. We could give it to the, yeah. If I do have to
Hell
get
yeah.
like 100 pounds of meat, I can just give it to the good fellows.
Yeah, maybe that will make them happier with you.
I'm gonna see if she has anything that she'd be willing to trade that is not meat for this vacuum cleaner, and if the answer is no, I'm going to take a massive quantity of meat.
We could also go somewhere else too.
I'm not really interested in many of these stores. It's either tech or magic, and I've hit the magic store up quite a bit. And Viridian, of course, isn't too interested in tech.
It's magic tech.
Please watch out for the glass.
Thank you, we will.
Yeah, Viridian's just kind of gonna nod and step forward, dragging his vacuum cleaner around the glass. Um, hello, Miss Sawyer, was it?
Yes, that is correct.
My name is Viridian Lockhart. Seeing your glass and your dedication to cleanliness, he just kind of looks over here. He goes a little bit more green again. And I thought you might have some use for this industrial strength vacuum cleaner. Do you have anything that you'd be willing to trade for it that isn't meat?
She kind of pauses, looks over her selection of meats. I might have something. I would have to go in the back. 1 minute, please.
She's gonna come back with like some bone effigies. Like, this is what I do with the bone. I make art.
So Matt, was she mad at me when she like when I offered to give my arm? Is that why she didn't want to go in the back, or because she said she didn't have anything else to trade besides meat? Or is that just
like
meat for meat?
The trade you offered was not very smart.
Yeah. Why is your arm important to her or special?
Yeah.
Fresh meat. It's fresh compared to.
She got fresh meat the other day. Some guy died, got shot. She walked out there.
People die here literally every day.
Fresher.
It's not enough at more value. A day later, it would be the next guy in the street could be fresher.
So she's killing something back there. She just killed something, by the way. We just heard a death screech.
No, it was a monster screech, but She comes back with this beautifully carved scrimshaw blade. Will this work?
Is it a knife or a sword?
It's a bastard sword, so it's larger than a knife but shorter than a full sword. And the blade is the blade is it's a crisp blade, so it's that wavy. It's basically, you know those carved ebony trunks from elephants? That beautiful, just somebody carved an actual city out of it. Well, this is about as ornate as one of those. This is
Oh, it's very pretty, but it's also a weapon. Viridian will shake his head and say, I'm sorry, as beautiful as it is, I don't believe in using weapons.
Are you not a mage?
I am.
This is a mage blade.
Then I'll accept it and do research into it. Thank you.
Can bleed on it and infuse it with magic.
He will. Yeah, that's interesting. But he's if it's related to magic, he'll study it. But he's definitely probably not going to use it. And no doubt Sawyer can see that on his face. He wants it for the research value.
You will use it. It is like a magic wand in a mage's hands. It helps you target and focus and concentrate. You don't need to kill with it. I hope you don't swing at someone. It is fragile. Unless you infuse it with magic to make it stronger. It is a blood magic blade. You can cut yourself or wound yourself to infuse your magic and make it stronger.
Thank you for the explanation and the more than fair trade, Miss Sawyer.
And please ignore the noise you heard in the back. As she takes the vacuum and immediately clicks it off like, yes, this will do just nicely.
All right. Scrimshaw blade.
Yes, just consider it the bone mage blade. She's a scrimshaw expert, so basically the blade is you can purposely wound your character, and you tell me how many wounds you subtract, and you can either get mana for it, So if you're like, I need 60 mana right now, and you'll have to hurt yourself, but you can get mana. You can also infuse the mana into the blade. You'll have to hurt yourself though. So it's like a mana battery. So you can like, I didn't use much mana today. I'm gonna hurt myself, and then put 300 mana to store it in the blade.
Could he
Go to
store
sleep.
blood and do that instead?
Or
does it have to be fresh?
Well, no, the blade actually eats the blood.
Okay.
I don't
Right.
know, like, you
Absorbs
couldn't, like, on
into
an
it.
off time, you couldn't bleed into a jar and then eat it. It splash the blood from a jar onto the blade, so he wouldn't
So
have
it
to
will
wound
take
himself in
when
combat.
it eats the blood, it takes the mana at the same time from the host, not like it just uses blood for mana. Okay, just double check.
Well, no, you can turn your blood into mana. Basically,
Right.
it eats
From the
the
sword.
eats the blood and then turns that blood into direct mana that you can refill
Does
refill
it
your pool
have
with.
to be his blood.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where the mana
Interesting.
comes from because it's his person.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So if you're out of mana, you can basically convert wounds to mana, or you can convert wounds to mana to be stored in the blade for later.
Is
So-
there any maximum limit?
Not really. This blade doesn't seem to have a limit on how much mana it can hold. The one downside is the more mana you store in it, the more magical it gets, and people can see that. So if you're like, I have 1 billion mana stored in this thing, and people be like, yeah, I can tell.
Oh.
I kind of want that.
Yeah.
It's also
You know,
like a
sensitive to
shining
magic would be like-
supernova
You
of
can put that
magic.
in your bag, I guess, Viridian, and maybe that.
My
would help.
bag is not big enough, at least not yet. I am going to be attempting to modify this as soon as we're out of the store.
It also gives you a +5 to learn new spells on influence. So
Oh,
when you're
cool.
wielding it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
It
this is a
doesn't affect
great
your
item.
overall influence. It just when you're rolling to learn new spells or create new spells, it's a foci, so it makes it easier.
Right.
And it's actually a little scary looking, but it feels right at home in your hand. You're like, this is the tits.
I was gonna say, my gosh, my demon wolf. Does this look like a demon weapon, like something that might, be evil and try to take over at some point?
It's a little too nicely done for that because there's no malicious power coming off it. Because demon weapons, you can feel the
exactly, yeah, like the hate and the.
No, this is just this is like looking at a pool of water, like
Okay.
just perfectly just blank. And
What is the mana conversion factor?
basically,
Or blood conversion, yeah.
right. So for every 1 HP you drain, you can get your willpower modifier times 10 back. So that means if your willpower gets stronger, you can get a ton of mana back for a single wound. But for now, if you're, I think it's like what, 5? What's your willpower modifier?
My willpower modifier is 7
Okay, so you can get 70 mana back
per wound.
per wound. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Question: is there anything stopping me besides the fact that it would be completely awful and painful from stab, no pain, stab, no pain, stab, no pain, stab, no pain?
What do you mean?
Pain away, my spell. 10 mana to heal 1 wound.
That's kind of funny.
You're the one that gave it to him.
No,
Yeah.
that is a perfect mana cycle. Basically, if you've ever played Magic the Gathering,
Right. Yeah.
basically it's just a
just power mana permanently just power up like a super, like, as he slashes his wrist and heals himself.
there is nothing stopping you from doing that.
No.
Couldn't
I'm
be
not
a
going to do that,
fact.
even though that is a very broken thing that Viridian immediately
Well,
thinks of. Because
yeah.
he's not a masochist. He's not going to stab himself over and over.
Yeah, I mean, stabbing yourself could, do that, but also,
Johnny might like it.
you're not sure consequences of blood magic would be. But in a pinch, you could be like, I need mana all the time, and then, just your mana battery. Blood magic is
Yeah.
really OP. Like it's one of the strongest mage classes, and it's not offered on any of the schools. Like, there's no blood mage.
Unless you become like a vampire or something.
Yeah, you can be a vampire and do blood magic. It just makes you naturally more suited to do it because you're not a hemophage. Dude, stop coughing into the microphone.
I thought it was muted.
Feels bad. At least you're not dying. What happened when you smoke? Kappa.
I don't know. Anyways, the blood magic. If you're at least you're not hemophage or have hemophobia or whatever that is, where you can't stand the sight of blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a vampire, you immediately have to get over that.
Yeah.
So that's why usually vampires can be blood mages, but most blood mages are actually nature mages.
Right.
Because they could be like, I have mastery over myself, the environment, and now I have mastery over you, which means I'm a blood mage too. But blood magic usually is just you do something to yourself, something harmful as part of the payment, and then you get a exponential just power output. So just be careful, because she just gave you a really, really rare item for a vacuum cleaner.
Yep, that's right place, right time. This is a really good place for that.
Yeah, so you do know that hurting yourself, actually, it's way more painful using blood magic. So if you're like, it's not just, I just cut myself. No, it's the pain is like doubled to get an, if you're not killing something with it. Because two forms of blood magic. There's the evil one, where you take life from others. And that kind of tools the blade towards that, so you can't swap later on. Or it's self-sacrifice, which actually is a higher turnout. But again, anything you do yourself, the pain is way more than you would normally feel from a normal cut because you're paying a price. So that's one of the reasons why it's like might not be okay to cycle, but you could be like, "For my life for ire," and
Right.
get a bunch of mana and heal yourself.
So Viridian, what you do need is blood packs of your blood. So because really, if it eats blood and you run out of blood, you're kind of fucked there, right? So if you can get more blood going through your system, it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, but the blade weighs 1 pound, even for its size, because it's made of this beautifully carved bone. And
right.
Yes, it is considered a masterclass magical item. So if you later on are like, I don't want this, you could sell it on the auction, you can trade it, but yeah, that's what she does with her time, with the bones that she doesn't sell. Make me an intelligence test, though.
All right.
Like a really difficult one, like a -30.
Would logic work or just straight intelligence?
Straight intelligence.
I failed.
Sorry. It was just kind of a random occult bit of information. So.
Dang it. I could have used occult lore.
No, not an occult in this case.
All right. Have we gotten outside the store?
I mean, did you want to leave?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, unless they have anything to do here.
Do you have loots that you want to get? I mean, she does have cool stuff. Like meat.
No.
I mean, isn't that considered cool stuff? Meat? Meat.
No. Not for this character. Maybe for Relief. This would have been his favorite shot.
Unfortunately, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But this guy I actually think is way more versatile, and it sounds like you're enjoying him a little bit more than Relief. Relief was very linear, and this character is like, I am a squiggle. I can do all sorts of cool stuff. And
pretty much anything you think of.
Yeah, more of jack of all trades kind of thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things I am enjoying about him. Anything he can think of and how that's affecting his character.
Yeah, I want to blow up that boss. Go for it. Actually, I went back and looked at it. Upon use, instead of 1 fatigue, it'll be fatigue equal to your willpower, not your willpower modifier, your toughness modifier, when you use the Nova Bomb.
All right.
And I actually have a little set of rules for that one, because I was looking at them like, you could dump 1 billion mana and only suffer 1 fatigue. So, yeah, it's gonna be.
Do you look at the video, or would you do to go look back?
No. I have. In
Notes,
regards
whatever.
to this stuff, I write notes.
Yeah.
So I actually think the best way to do it is, remember you can only tool it for 50 mana, and which is 1-to-1 damage. For every 50, you also would have to roll on toughness to see if you get fatigue for that. So you could chance it and be like 800 mana. Well, okay, but you're gonna have to roll a lot of toughness tests.
So that's how it works. I thought you said
I will.
fatigue
That
equals
would be
toughness
better.
mod.
That would be actually better, because that means you'll
can
have a
pass it,
chance. Yeah, you can chance it, and if you are tougher, that means you can resist fatigue more. But remember, if you have fatigue equal to or twice your toughness number, you die. Like I'm gonna have to look that up. So let me pull up my trusty fatigue, not rutigue, fatigue.
People should have. I was gonna say, like, remember when we got fatigued out of our asses when we were fighting the girl in the pit? Fuck.
233. Okay. Yeah. Dude. Stims are nothing to scoff at.
No, it's just we didn't go unprepared is all. We could have had much more from what we had.
What?
That's the whole point of learning, right? Especially with the new group.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it. The fatigue 233. What the fudge? Come on. Combat. So it'll be. I'm not happy. It's on injury, which is 232.
Sounds like more of a coma situation before you die, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, if you hit, I think it's like fatigue equal to your like. Equal to your toughness modifier, you like pass out.
Right.
Which makes it so you don't fuck up. I'm still looking for it. Come on, baby. Where are you? Injury, fatigue. Yeah. Basically, exhaustion, combat trauma, or basically non-lethal damage like fist fights.
Mm-hmm.
Those represent fatigue. Fatigue represents the amount of non-lethal injury a character can take over the course of the gameplay. Characters suffer fatigue from certain type of attacks, grappling, some critical effects. Basically, it's you pushing yourself beyond your limits.
Yeah.
Anytime a character gains or loses a level of fatigue, he compares his new fatigue level to his character's bonuses. Any character with a bonus lower than the character's current fatigue level becomes fatigued. So basically, bonus lower than the character's current. That is such a poor sentence. Gosh dang it, game.
Sounds easier to just Google it.
I'll figure it out. Just keep moving on. I'm going to read this again and then find a better way to explain it.
Alright, so next thing we should do is catalog the...
Before we do that, as soon as we get outside, I have something I want to do when Sawyer's not looking at it less.
Okay.
Do I know if I could create a spell that could modify the shape of this blade while keeping its inherent properties?
You're not sure. You'd have to be a nature mage, probably.
So Arcana is not built for doing this sort of thing very
You're
easily.
basically Arcana does not do transmutation or transformation very well.
It just
Yeah.
takes
That
things
would
from
be an alchemy branch you'd have to get into.
Mhm.
Alchemy is very, very messy
things.
and doesn't really allow for mistakes if you're trying to do something to an item like this.
Yeah, especially if you
you
ruin
could
your
be an
mastercraft item.
Oh, I am going to definitely learn everything about Arcana.
You could
including
probably try and
alchemy.
go back to Sanders with something and ask for alchemy books.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
My thought is we catalog. Maybe you get some mana back from that because I don't know how long it's going to take to catalog all the shit.
Yeah, catalog, and I'll finish reading my current books, because I'm not getting any more books until I have the knowledge I already have acquired.
Okay, so I was right. But your fatigue level that you can take is your toughness and your willpower bonus added together.
Oh, cool. All right, that makes
Before
sense.
And I was right. If it ever exceeds double that amount, you die. No questions asked.
Well,
No fate point.
Yeah.
I think you can burn a fate point to live. But if you ever exceed that threshold, you pass out, like unconscious, suck a dick. It's actually not that long of a time. Removing fatigue's really easy. Basically, as long as you are actually resting for every hour of normal rest, but not spent unconscious, without combat, any use of psychic power, so on and so forth, removes 1 level of fatigue. So that's way more forgiving than even Dungeons and Dragons. Because Dungeons and Dragons is evil. If you get exhaustion, you have to spend a whole long rest, like 8 hours of long rest doing nothing, and you have to have food and water to remove 1 level.
And you can't be unconscious.
And for every level of fatigue or exhaustion you have, your character sucks. And if you ever get to 6, you die, which is kind of funny.
And it's pretty easy to get to 6, actually.
Yeah, I actually had a character skirt that last night. He ended up getting 3 plus 1d4.
Oh.
And if you ever have 6, you die. And I'm like, roll the 1d4. I hope you roll a 1 or a 2. Because if you roll a 3 or higher, you're instant dead. Yeah, basically. So he rolled a 1. But that's just his character. He rolls what he needs to roll when he needs it. That's just his fate. But, oh my gosh, last night they found an ancient artifact. And,
Another one?
no, like, not just an artifact. Like, there's 3 levels. There's, like, the new ones that just gain sentience. There's the ones that have been around a while. And there's, like, the ones that the gods that have touched themselves.
So the ancient, more or less. Okay.
They found an ancient water artifact, staff. And, basically, he got sucked into a dream world when the mage touched it. And, he had to fight a kraken in a solo match his lair. In his lair to claim the staff.
That sounds like an impossible task.
But this staff was created during the War of the Gods, where magic was more fluid. So basically, if the Kraken ever reached him, he was instantly dead. Because the stats of the Kraken, basically it gets 7 attacks, one of those is a bite, and any
Which if it
tentacle...
succeeds, it follows.
Well... Yeah, if you could get swallowed, or if any of the tentacles hit you, they get to do a free grapple check.
Oh yeah.
Like for every tentacle. And the amount of damage the thing did was he would maybe be able to suffer 1 attack, but he had 1/4 health bar, so it was like instant kill. But the cool part was it was made during the War of the Gods, which means magic was more fluid. And basically, you could use any number of spell slots on your turn and build just a Kamehameha spell. Or basically make a designer spell to see what you can do.
Right.
So, he could also use Blink as a reaction. So if the thing did come at him, he can use one of his level 3 spell slots to dodge. He also had a really brilliant use of Wall of Force. So the Kraken was like, I'm gonna wreck it! Wall of Force can only be destroyed by disintegrate. And the thing just kind of walked into it and it was like a glass door moment. It was really funny.
I think
And,
refused to believe it couldn't break it.
Well, no, it broke it on its next turn, but
Oh,
he just walked right in it before he got enough momentum. Because the lair was like, hey, I'm going to move you 60 feet in his direction because water currents. And he was like, I'm going to die, wall of force. He ended up winning, and now he has this super OP staff. I basically asked him just to keep it on the DL because it doubles all his spell slots.
Oh, nice.
While wielding. It's a +9 weapon.
Holy.
Yeah, +9. It
Double
also
those
gives
spell
him
slots.
23 spells that he can use once per day for free.
Any spell he wants?
No, there's 23 already listed spells.
Okay.
They're all like water or wind or thunder type spells or lightning spells. Like you can use a free control weather for the day. That's the magic is stored in the staff, doesn't use your spell slots. So there's 23 different spells listed on the staff that you can use. It gives immunity to lightning and thunder. You can walk on water. Breathe. You don't need to breathe. Water doesn't crush you anymore at deep depths. You can move freely in water like you using the fly spell. Like this thing it's the business. And the guy was like, he sent me the gif of somebody puking rainbows. I was like, yes, you're gonna need it because the boss you're about to fight is gonna dunk all of you. I don't pull my punches. I have Destiny 2 type raid bosses.
I wish I could have gotten to that game, but I just heard some bad things. And
Yeah, the only reason I don't really put people in that game is they're really well into it, and we play on Wednesday nights, and it's they're a special bunch. They're all veteran players except for one guy, but he turned into a really good player really quick. And I just kind of want to keep it with that specific group because.
oh no, I wasn't asking. I was just saying Destiny 2.
And then the other group is the England group, and I can't run any more players in that group anyways because they're at my maximum threshold for players. And they're a chatty bunch, so it's hard to communicate with them because usually if one's not talking, the others are talking, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be relaying information.
Bad switch channels.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You need to talk.
You have to start typing it to them.
Yeah, basically, I just said, hey, if you want to have conversations with people, do it on Discord if it's between players, or you can do the little italics in the
chat
if it's between players or between the characters. And they do that all the time. It's just like, boop, boop, boop. I'm like, oh my god, this is almost as annoying. They're a fun bunch. And we have to play on Sunday mornings because they're in England.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because I was auditioning for a GM position in a different game, and this guy randomly comes out of nowhere because he was, looking for a GM. Says, "Hey, you want a GM for a bunch of noobs?" Like, what do you mean by noobs? I think 2 of us have done a one shot and have done no other RPGs. That's pretty pleb. It's a lot of pleb. So basically, they've never ever seen Dungeons and Dragons played before. Yeah. And there's a girl. Yes, we have a girl player.
Oh shit.
And she, for some reason, is the party leader.
Yeah. See, I thought that was your Wednesday group you were talking about, but no.
No.
Okay.
No, that's my Sunday group. That's why we don't play on Sundays, because I have that group. And, oh my gosh, they are hilarious, mostly because she's the most undecisive. Just like, oh my god, what do I do? But she's the team leader, and everyone's just like, make a decision! I don't know why she's the team leader, but that's how it went. Okay, you walked outside, and you're like, that was a lot of meat. That was a lot of food. Holy shit, that's a lot of food in there.
I'm gonna go and do Death from Close from Far and start cataloging all the parts.
I guess I'll help you with that. Make it go faster.
Yeah, gonna make my stuff. Gonna look
I guess
at
before
it.
we do that, I'm also going to check the data slot to see if anything new popped up. Anything interesting, I guess.
Yes. You like that, wouldn't you?
Because we kind of made a scene.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Why don't you make? There's always a lot of jobs on there. A lot of them disappear. A lot of them just. Go ahead and make me a aware. No, I really want search, but
Was there a search?
It'd be like a tech use test, wouldn't it?
yeah, I guess.
If you're
But
looking through
it's
data.
well, it's just think of it as a job board. It's the most simple thing. You just kind of scroll.
Can I ask Lost to do it for me? I'm not so good at
He's
that.
like, I'm sorry, I'm not touching that. That's infected.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Good point.
So basically, you got to be really careful with what technology I come in contact with because it's infected. I actually had to carve a partition out of your data slate and completely wipe it and basically pour bleach over it and set it on fire.
Ooh.
And then I could go inside. So I got to be really careful because that virus, if I come in contact with even a smidge of it, I die. Because it basically exponentially propagates, and I'm made
That's
of
why
data.
she's not in me right now. So
Yeah, I'm made of data, and that stuff preys on data. So I will warn you: if I do come in contact with it, ditch me because insanity is the first thing that happens to us, and we're talking full-on hysteria, manic, psychotic episodes of just horror. Because I became corrupted, and I don't have my sanity anymore, and it just.
Lost, what we should do is make a backup copy of yourself if you wanted to.
Hey guys, basically, if you do a backup copy of me, you just duplicated me.
Right. That's just what I thought.
Basically, you just cloned me, and if you're talking about a backup server, I would very much appreciate that. But good luck finding something that's not infected.
Yeah.
The one in my building was like one of the only ones I could find, but we had to torch it because it needs to be lit on fire.
The robot parts, could you get you stuff from the robot parts?
You guys will probably have to scrub all of those, like full memory scrub. You have to double check all of it, and you can't let your tech friend do it because he's infected. Because if he comes in contact with a non-infected model, he immediately infects it just by checking on it.
What about touching it?
I don't know. Like each strain of the stuff is different. Some of it sits in your body, like in your cells, and can jump that way, and that's one of the scarier ones. Basically, organics become carriers via touch, kind of like a disease or a virus. Some of it only sits in technology. I don't know which one you got, and I really can't check because I'll die.
Yeah, unfortunately, we never got to check the serial on that strain host because, well, we didn't go up and check it. So.
It was kind of trying to kill us. It had to go bye-bye.
No, I mean it did go by, but we didn't go and check for it after. It was just, black stuff, which is now why it's, roaming again.
I know, but how are we going to check through the black stuff?
Well, you burn it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Johnny, she will teach you how to make a safe partition.
Right.
Same with you. So any of you want to learn, she'll show you how to save the. Basically, take something that's corrupted and then just scrub it. Thoroughly nothing exists. But it's a lengthy process, and anything on there whatsoever has to be removed with extreme prejudice. So if there's data on there or like an operating system, no, it's just I took a flamethrower and then just burnt the inside of this thing until it was basically particles. Nothing can even
have no systems whatsoever.
Yeah, and
operational.
Well, yeah, it'll be you're glitching out. Disconnect, reconnect. Do it.
Is it getting all jumpy?
A little bit. That's a little bit better now, but basically, come back to us. See, it's not letting them back in because fucking.
What's up with this? Are we in the station? Because last time it was. Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Like,
what
it took
about
me a
now?
while to connect last, what was it,
Right.
Tuesday?
Yeah, it does that. That's why you can't get rid of it on Johnny, because you would literally kill him to get rid of the virus.
Yeah, I'd have to, like, take out all my... Well, I don't even know if it goes through my bio, too, so I would have to...
You definitely know this stuff is a bio-infector. You're not sure if it's transferred by touch or if it's by, if you bleed on it or... But this is definitely one of those advanced nasty strains that even if you were to remove all your technology, it's still in your blood.
Right.
It's not a bad thing per se, because that means there's a lot more ways to figure out how to beat it. Because it's not just technology. It means if you become a nature mage, you can be like, ha, I'm a technomancer nature mage, and I have mastery of myself, which means I have mastery over you. Because you are in me. So, I mean, there's a lot of options. It's just you are unfortunately vulnerable at the moment. And you'll have to find out a way to overcome it. Or you can do what Quinlad did. Find someone who's crazy and evil, a mad scientist thing, and have it ripped out of you for a price.
Yeah.
There's probably a few people here. Maybe not like a for sure thing, but it would definitely someone who would give it a try. Maybe has some experience with the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Johnny's a technomancer, yeah. So he's like good with really small strains of like nano machines. Isn't this kind of just like that? Wouldn't he be maybe able to try and rewire it?
You could, but this stuff is.
Don't change it too much. Just change it from say being super aggressive in eating everything to say being your firewall or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but he'll have to figure it out. It's one of those things that it's gonna be difficult.
Well, what I'm getting from this is that Broke here, you're gonna be categorizing all these robots and robot parts.
Yeah,
I can supervise, though. No worries on that. My
I
expertise
guess I
will
got
probably
4
come
arms.
in.
I'll be pretty good at it.
So basically, he can do the cataloging and you can do the inventory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Viridian can do knowledge gathering from his books and regen mana.
All right,
could rest
so
with it too, yeah.
we'll do a full 4-hour thing because it's going to take a really long time to categorize solo mode. And Johnny, you get to wave your pom poms and swing your baton, and Viridian, you get to just kind of like, ooh, it's a book.
I just sit down and start sorting through robot parts.
At 4 hours, I will be not back to full because I'm not using my magical sleep. 8 hours is full without magical sleep. I am reading my intermediate spell book, hopefully getting a good portion of the way through it.
Okay, yeah, you'll get a good portion of the way through it. You won't get anything until you finish the book.
Yes.
But yeah, the okay, you guys got a couple hundred spare parts for. It's all about this model of robot though. The maintenance robots.
Do we have enough to make a full one, or is it just like basic?
Yeah, you have enough to make several full ones, like 50 of them. Unfortunately, it's all about that RFID chip,
Yeah. The CPU.
that wireless chip, and that's why you only have 7 of them.
Okay. Well, at least we have a lot of stuff here to trade.
You do. Basically, you have spare arms, heads, torsos, legs. Yeah.
How good does the armor look, and does it look like it would be compatible?
These are construction robots. They're pretty durable. But they're mostly meant for utility. They can be sent into dangerous situations.
Especially to scout.
Yeah. But she does say connection is limited. because of the virus, and wireless is very short range, so they would need to stay close. Or
Or
I'd
get
need
a giant cord and fucking do it that
I
way.
was more thinking about if I cannibalized one, and would I be able to start slapping pieces on? Is it classified as like human armor kind of ish, or is that more into the mech kind of armor?
It's more of a mech, because if you were to rip off an arm and be like, I want another arm, it would just be considered armor instead of an actual arm.
Okay, so I can't start slapping it on. Okay. Well, after 4 hours, we could trade these for a decent amount of stuff.
What I'll do now is I will show a picture of the inventory. Verdian, do you think you could almost take a picture of it and then?
What do you mean?
So I'm more or less projecting the inventory list of what we have, right? I could write it down, but it would take a while to do. But if I could show you a picture from my memorance implant, I could you could maybe like take a snapshot of it and then print it out some way, or like almost like taking a picture and copying it over. You know what I mean? As a spell. That'd be interesting.
I have a spell that I know of, a spell that can do something similar.
Okay.
I can turn data into pages of a book.
All
But
right.
it's a master level spell to do it in any useful manner, and I'm not quite capable of master level spells yet.
Okay. Well, what about like a picture? You could do that one, couldn't you?
Like, just a snapshot of a hologram?
Yeah.
Why would you take a snapshot of a hologram if you can just use your hologram?
Well, I don't think she's gonna let me go in. Otherwise, I'd do it.
Well, we could just, we know how much we have. We can just tell her.
Okay.
Yeah,
you could do that too. I just thought it'd be easier for her to have the information, like so she know what she's getting into, compared to just like, oh, we have 100 parts kind of deal.
Well, at the end of the day, if we write it down, if we tell her, we could write it down and not have it, or we could tell her and not have it.
What are we gonna write it down with?
But we know how many we have. Why don't we just walk in and tell her, and then she accepts the deal?
I'm just saying it would be more effective if we told her the parts and everything she instead of just saying like, yeah, we have 100 parts of this unit, but we could, if we had a more detailed list, she'd be more interested and be able to make the sale easier, more or less.
Maybe.
We could just have Broke here write it all down. Sometimes the mundane solution is simpler and less.
Yeah.
Okay, just how long would it take to write down?
I mean, you kind of did it in that 4 hours.
I was gonna say, weren't you writing it down while I sorted through it?
No, I was categorizing it in my head.
Oh.
Then
Well,
how long will it take you to take a piece of paper and a pencil and write it all down?
Probably an hour. I kid you not. It's a lot of stuff.
That's why if I could, print it out for you, it'd be. I could go in, maybe as long as I don't touch her. I just feel like she'd probably shoot me on contact because I'm sure she could sense the virus in me.
Yeah. She's very technologically sound, and as of right now, you're basically a technological weapon.
Yeah.
I feel like
doesn't know that.
she might.
I'm sure she has.
We should always assume they know everything.
She's been doing all right so far, so I'm sure she'll take precautions.
Yeah,
right.
That's anyone who's survived so far has done so for a reason. So they did something.
And I guess everyone would remember it and kind of be on the lookout for the last remnants of the virus. So.
Well, they live it every day. It's on the net.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what.
Make a spell.
Do you have actual paper and a writing utensil on you?
No.
Do you, Broke here?
Do I?
What are these fucking casuals going on about? Take a piece of scrap metal and carve it. Come on.
That's actually what I've been doing so far. So, yeah, I have scrap metal galore. I'll pull out a big sheet of like tin or something, and I can scratch it in. That's what I do with my calling cards. It's easier to get scrap metal than it is to get paper.
Sure.
Paper doesn't last either.
Can you hand me that piece of scrap metal there?
I'll hand him a piece of my scrap metal, a big old sheet of it.
He kind of oofs under the weight, but all right. I want to enchant this piece of metal to write down in my handwriting any word that the person I designate speaks.
Speaks? Ah, that's okay. I could do that too.
Remember, you also have that righty time spell where it's
I
1
do.
mana per 1 letter.
And that is way more expensive than I want.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
Just saying, a
This is
picture
my
would be
first-
interesting, but yeah, we can do it this way.
This is my first item enchantment. I've been wanting to try something like this for a little while. Intelligence or influence as well.
Just give me an influence.
+5.
Plus
It's got the
five.
+5. Yeah, it's +5.
Woo!
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, basically, it's malleable. It's like a piece of paper, but it records voice, kind of like a way they carved those Epiphones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like a vinyl disc. Basically, you just say "go," and it just records all sound, all of it. And when you say, when you end the spell, just it stops, but it records like a book, left to right.
All right. So this records all sound instead of tailored to a specific individual as I desired.
Unfortunately, yeah, this one's
All
it's
right.
a little bit more difficult because it would also be enchant person. Because the person would be the target of the spell, which would be something you can do after you finish that intermediate. But the person has to be the willing target, and that's why it would be more mana involved. But this one's really easy. This one's 30 mana for unlimited amount of time.
Right.
If the recorded sound ends up exceeding the space, it just starts to overwrite what was previously written at the start. So that's the one tough bit.
How much
if
mana
I
did I recover from the 4 hours of categorizing?
Yeah, it would fit. You just have to be really succinct.
Okay.
Succinct?
Yeah, like
Right,
short
to the point.
To the point.
Okay, yeah.
And how much mana did I recover from the 4 hours of categorizing?
200.
200.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Johnny, when I activate this, I need you to... it won't immediately put the knowledge in your head onto the sheet, but it will allow you to do it via voice. Just say in very succinct words, as it will overwrite if it goes over the allotted amount on the sheet, every piece of information you want written down.
Yep.
And everything else, broke here, the robots will need to be silent during this process.
I'm just going to let's do the calculation in my head to put things together, right? So if there's similar parts, I'll say the part name and then I'll put how many we have of it going down.
It doesn't write on the back unless you flip the thing over too. So you have to stop it, flip it, and then start again.
Like
Yeah.
a
Viridian will let you know that information.
Okay.
It also does cost another 30 to write on the back half though.
All right. Viridian will give the sheet to Johnny.
And I just need a logic test and a fellowship, which is unless you have performance, because you're actually speaking.
Oh, so those are from Johnny.
Actually, no, it'd be command. You're commanding this thing. So yeah, it'll be command from Johnny, and it'll also be a logic.
All right. How long will it take him to speak out all of this information?
Depends on my commands.
Yep. Ooh, good logic.
Logic's good.
Oof.
It takes a while. It takes a long time because he
My
pauses
command-
for several moments. And
I don't
just
have
like,
command as a skill, right? So I only got it from my +10. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. That's 50 because I have unnatural fellowship as well. My bad.
Mhm.
So
Still doesn't pass.
60, well, I mean, it's better than 2 degrees of negatives. Well, yeah.
It would be in that case 3 because you fail just for not making it, and then an extra 10. No, it would be 2. No, you're right. All right. Well, turns out okay. It's not that great. It kind of still moves along the page even when you're quiet. So there's like gaps in between the words, but I mean it's legible if someone takes time to study.
That's why I'm saying the picture would have been nice because then she could have just looked at it compared to, listening to the whole thing. But I don't know.
But that's a lot to record.
Yeah. So, how many different types of pieces were there then?
There's at least like 10, 15 different types of pieces, mostly because they're all wholesale.
Okay.
They're meant to just, if the arm is destroyed, pull off the old arm, throw it away, and reattach a whole new arm.
Well, because all I did was, count that many pieces, and then I just added it more or less up together. So
Right.
if it was, say, an arm or whatever type of serial number the arm, and then
Yeah, 300 of these arms, 400 of this. 20.
Actually, I would like to have that though now, since we did categorize it.
Alright, you do
See
have
with all of that.
75 of all body parts. So head, torso, left arm, left
Okay.
leg.
Okay. Oh. 75. All pieces.
You can make 75 robots.
Right.
It's just you don't
Need the
have the chip.
chips.
And then so 1, 2, 6, and then you just have 75 like mounted shoulder light. You have different type of hand tools. So 3 separate type of different hands. So there's like the clamp, the actual fingers, like the 5-finger one. You have a little press, so it's like a claw. That can cut like pipes and stuff.
Any comedy tool type things?
Yeah, and the 4th one's the combi tool. That one's the one that's automatically equipped.
Right.
And then you have the portable light. So 4 different types of hands. One's equipped, and then a light, and then 1 for each body type, which is 10 different parts in all. So not bad. Not great, but not bad. And it's not the most advanced model.
No.
But they're durable. They still work even after being in storage for that long.
Unless it's corroding, it's just definitely shouldn't affect it any.
Oh, really?
Fair.
Really?
La, 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 la. So the 7 that are active lost could take control of these ones then, yeah?
Yeah, she could. It's
If
a
you-
short range for wireless, though.
I know, I was just wondering if in case we do need to.
She might want to make that time to clear the systems of it, though. Hard reset of everything.
Yeah. Because didn't we already do that? Isn't that what we spent like the first 4?
No, we were just
doing, is we were
categorizing.
just scrubbing these things clean.
No, she didn't clean them. You
No,
guys
we
were
did.
No, I wouldn't
No,
have been able to.
You guys are just counting parts.
Yeah, we just categorize shit.
Didn't she that she was going to teach us how to like clean them up or something?
She shows you on 1, so 1's good to go.
Shouldn't we do that with all of them then?
You won't.
I would.
How long would that take? Yeah,
A couple hours. Not a quick process.
I'll
Like,
do it. I'll
It'll basically you have to not do the process just once, but you have to do the process 7 times for each of
Yeah.
the robots.
I'll do it because I'm not selling a bunch of robots that are going to spread out and turn into evil goop monsters or something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'll-
and
I'll
while
take
we
the
do
process.
that, Johnny can work on his thing, which he hasn't been able to work on since he's busy categorizing.
Yeah.
Work on that virus.
Yeah, well, he's working on the virus. I'll be scrub-a-dub-dubbing
Mhm.
all these bodies.
But
You know what?
next-
Just to be safe, I'll do it 8 times each.
no,
just to get
7 is
Just do
fine.
it 7.
7 is overkill,
Yeah.
basically.
Fine.
But that
Um,
cleans the whole thing. Like that goes it. Yeah.
yeah,
Delete the
basically,
data once, twice, 3 times.
she's
yeah.
happy at 3, but she makes you do it 4 more times because
Yeah.
this thing is evil.
Let's
Okay,
be safer
okay.
than sorry. Yeah.
This virus is the antichrist to basically AIs.
I thought 7 was standard. I was like, let's just do it 1 more time to be safe.
Well,
But we're already over
the standard wipe process in a single iteration does basically scour the thing multiple times over, like 7. So basically, you're doing it not just once, but you're doing it 49 times because each cycle is 7. So normally she only does it 3 times to make sure, but this is pure evil, so we're going to kill it to extra make sure. Pretty lengthy
Extra make sure.
process. It's a pretty lengthy process. She hates this stuff, you can tell. She gleefully just roasts whatever's inside.
So Fridin's got to have like all his mana back. That probably takes what, 6 hours, 5 hours?
No, it's 2 hours for the whole thing
Oh,
because
that's not too bad.
she just plugs in and basically runs it at computer speeds.
So another 100 mana then?
Yeah, but you can actually finish that book in the time because it's not a very big book.
Yes!
So I need you to roll me int, willpower, and influence, please.
Do we just see like a level up sign go above him?
Level up.
Yeah.
Int. Man, that's awful. But I saved my rerolls for influence. Willpower.
Ooh.
Ooh! Just barely. And influence. It's not a spell, so I don't get the +5. 59. Fate point to reroll.
Oh shit!
Yes!
Holy shit.
Do you want to reroll for the intelligence?
Um.
Do it.
I would have to
Do it.
burn a fate
Oh,
point.
you have 2 fate points if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
I burned my last one on creating the supernova, and then I got 1 from the boss.
Well,
Yep, let's burn a used fate point on the intelligence. Why not?
plus 20, plus
Oh,
20,
you're gonna burn one.
plus 24,
I have to, I don't have
65. Could be
anything
bad, could be worse.
I don't have anything else.
Dash my body.
90!
Oh,
Bummer.
I
Alright,
knew
so
I shouldn't have.
it happens. Alright, so let's roll to see how much mana you get. I want you to roll me a 1d10, and then we'll see.
4.
Okay,
Could be better.
could be better.
I'm guessing I
Roll me
can't.
one more
I can't
time.
Give him one of my fate points like a fate point because it's already a fate point. Yeah.
Well, you
9.
can
Ooh.
turn fate points into fate coins and hand them to other players. So basically, if you're like, I would like to help.
I'll give you one. Broke here is a bro, so he is willing to help you.
Brah,
If you would like a fate point,
brah.
Broke here would give you one.
Too late now.
Is it
Is
too
it?
late?
I mean, you already burned it, so you can't do it again, right?
Right,
You
but
needed, like, a bone
he
crushing
could use it for something else. And if you happen to die and you have no fate points, you don't get to retry.
Yes. You die.
Yes, you die. It's gone.
He'll lend you one just because.
Alright. Transfer a fate point. Complete. Subtract
Damn
1, add 1. Go.
Alright, sure. I won't
Should
die
have done
next
this
time.
before.
Roll one more time.
Okay.
Alright, one more time.
You are such a kind man.
5.
He rolled really well on his influence, so he gets to roll 3 times and see which is the best one he gets. All right, so go ahead and whatever your willpower modifier is, add that to the 9.
Nice.
That is.
And then
gonna
multiply
be
the total by
16.
10.
160. Yay.
So what's the point of a will? You mean just like how many counts up, right? So you have 50, that means it's 5, right? Is that how that works? Or how does your willpower modifier work out?
Basically, yeah, if you have 50, it's 5.
Okay.
And then,
And I have 70 something.
Yeah.
and if you have unnatural, it either counts as just a plus 10 or it doubles the number.
Right.
Do you have a natural willpower? I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
I do not.
Okay, well,
That would be really nice, though.
that also would help with mana accumulation.
It'd help with everything.
Yes, it would. All right, so yeah, you got 160 mana. You can now do some intermediate stuff. So magic will be a little bit more cooperative.
Awesome.
Oh well.
My box of tricks that was already gigantic just got more gigantic.
Mm-hmm. You're a good ways out from mastery though, because the next book would be in advanced, and then you're looking at probably 5 other steps until you reach master.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't even have those steps. I have a completely separate book about something else.
That is a personal tome. Like that's someone's personal thing. So
Is it research notes or is it more like a diary?
no, it's magical research. Basically, the guy, it's filled with spells from the whole range of arcane mastery. So from the noob spells all the way up to the really good ones. Basically, the guy was like, "No, this one sucks dick. I made it better." Or this one, I'm just gonna do something goofy with this. Oh, complete failure. It's basically personal research notes.
Depending on who it was, that could be pretty valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna start reading that next time I get some time to sit down.
Problem with that one is it's a tome, and the thing weighs 15 to 20 pounds.
So
And it's not a small book.
get a desk.
It is a big book. It needs a desk. Think of Space Marine chapter tome size thing.
Well, you could use one of these display cabinets to. Make
Yeah, basically, you literally have a guy who has a prosthetic on his back, and he's hunched over and has prosthetics to hold him up. And basically, it's a giant, just book holder thing. And the book is on his back, and he just kind of shuffles around like a little null with the book on his back. That's how big and heavy it is. It's a heavy book. You're not going to be able to just cradle it and hold it. You need a research lab. And also, it's locked. Magically.
Magically locked, huh?
Yes.
Magically locked. Alright. Everything you learn is just fodder for new spells. We're ready to move out now that we've cleaned our robots.
Did we burn it all? Yes, we burned it all. Fuck yes. Burned it. Alright. Well, that was good. Those are clean. I'm pretty sure.
Hopefully.
Unless, they are like cockroaches, so. But I think we used enough pesticide to. We drank deep of the haterade and just spewed it, so that's how I felt. Anyways, what's the plan now, big guy? What was that cool thing you handed over to your friend over there? I mean, just kind of like. You just kind of pulled it out of your mouth, and then he ate it. Was like a data transfer, or what's going on?
Oh, it's a fate point.
Can I have one?
Huh. What would you do with it?
Study it.
He's thinking about it, like.
You'd also give that NPC a fate point.
Yeah, you'd give her a fate point.
Think about it.
Also, if you have anything like that, I could also study it too.
You know what? Why not? Sure, he'll give her a fate point.
Okay.
Study it
Yeah,
all you want.
she's got a fate point. She's like, whoa, this is fascinating. Thank you.
He's like, yeah, I don't really know what they are either, but I have a surplus of them, and I haven't really need to use them yet. So.
Well, they sound important, so if you need it back, let me know.
Oh, sure, but for now, just go to town on it.
Well, I'm not really going anywhere, and I never went to town before.
It's more figure of speech.
Oh, that's one of those human things, or on-computer entity things. I don't know. All right.
I'm gonna go up to
You guys,
Lost, and I'm going to. Well, let's talk about
you're
the
pretty
partition.
much looking at a screen that's attached to my chest.
I'm gonna have to make some space in my cerebral in order so I don't lose data, so we can shit.
What do you mean?
Well, she made a partition for herself on the data slate, so I'll do that for my cerebral implant.
A little plug for yourself for the machine. Can he do that? Can he make himself a safe spot?
Well, it's not something he can retreat to. He's not an AI.
No, it's not. It's more or less for data that I don't want being corrupted.
Well, so there's not really much space on the data implant for that.
Okay.
So what it'll do is you can allocate as much int as you want to put into that safe partition. So basically, you're literally transferring int stats to that safe partition. Because you're basically carving a part of your brain out.
Right.
Because you're not a computer.
Could I do that from
yes.
my data slate instead?
You can do it on your data slate.
Okay, because
it's a computer.
I want to. Well, I want that to be transferred over before it. When I touch it, I'm gonna have to do it quickly. Is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. But
or I could.
You're infected though, so.
Yeah. Well, when I go and grab it, I'm sure it will be fuck things up. But
well, isn't it already on your person? Doesn't that mean it's already infected?
It's in my suit, so I don't know.
No, suit protected it.
Exactly. Okay. So someone else could grab it, and then she could get the data off for me, and then do it that way. But
will that work?
Yeah. Basically, if you have a non-carrier, grab the piece of tech, you can transfer. And unfortunately, your data slates don't really have the basically protect all otter case on it.
Yeah.
Like Brokier's does, because the person who gave him his case was like, it can be run over by a tank and be fine. That's the type of case he got. Which in this case, it probably got run over by a tank maybe once or twice.
Back in the heydays, it was good times.
But with that said,
Hey, well, are we gonna go back to that lady and see if she wants some robots?
Well, why don't you let me talk to her?
Yeah, you want to talk to her?
I might. I mean,
yeah.
I'm an AI. She's a robot. Well, not technically a robot.
Weapons,
she's a android.
Oh, is that
cyborg?
Difference?
Actually, yes. Android means somewhere along the line, your brain was either sliced up and scanned and then turned into basically an AI. Very advanced technique. I think only Dreshi systems can do that now. So yeah, they have a machine that can turn people into AIs.
And bro, I'm more of a cyborg in a sense.
Yeah, cyborgs basically means you still have some biology left, but an android means your intelligence was transferred to a synthetic brain. It's still considered organic. Either that or they infused your brain with a nanite infusion or a nanite solution to basically make your brain synthetic with extra protective polymers. And it's basically you remove everything biological about you, but you're still you, but not an AI. That's an android. It's really complex. Like
it sounds really complex.
Androids are also a tier higher on the tech scale, mostly because they're not piecemeal. Androids are getting them repaired is a bitch, because you can't just pop off an arm and reattach. It's everything synthetic, synthetic muscles, fibers, all the pieces. You even have organs, so you're not a beep boop robot. You're a artificial person.
Huh.
Yeah. Some of the most powerful tech users are androids. I think she's an android.
Brokir's gonna kind of look down at himself. He's like, what am I considered then? With all his, like, metal parts fused with his flesh.
You would be a unique person.
See, I like that word. I like that.
You're not really a creature of technology. You're more of a. You'd fit really well in with some of the carvers or biomancers, because they would do stuff like that. Basically, you would be considered a chimera. There, you're a chimera. There, that's what they use. That's what they call their creations.
He's like, I think I was born, but.
Well, no, that's you look like a chimera. You're half this, half that, part this, part that, and you got cool little power things. I don't know.
I have to go meet these people someday.
Yeah, I don't think there's many left though. They usually either got chop shops, or you need a really specialized facility that draws like ass ton of power. Like you would not believe how many watts of power that those places pull. Excuse me.
So I guess you can just find them by finding a place that's drawing a shit ton of watts.
Which is nowhere. Or at least not in my district. Like, I basically shut down all power to places like that, and basically let them run off their own generators. Because war, hello, you don't need that type of stuff. What are you doing in there? So they weren't happy with me, at least in this district.
Well, I guess they had to
The corporations can suck it, because I think the power that actually needed was to go to the power plant. But some corporations are still running off their own power source, and yeah, good for them, but fuck them. So basically, all remaining power that's coming off the grid, it goes to infrastructure, or at least that's where I left it. But I haven't had access to the grid in over 2 solars before I had to transfer myself. Because I will tell you this, the grid is about as infected as it gets.
Is anything you want us to pick up,
No, I'm just here for the ride. I'm just grateful that I got pulled out in time. You would not believe how scared I was. It was right there. I could see it out my monitor. Like,
yeah, it was scary looking.
I was about to die, and it was not. It was going to be it's just a giant 404 code error. That's what that is. It's just a bunch of nanites that is so corrupted that it just spreads endlessly.
How do the nanites take form, though? Is it because of the binary?
Binary, yeah.
So it's almost like a nature magic type thing? How does that work out?
Basically, think of if you walked around the world and you saw everything as strings of code. So you, the culmination of you, down to your atoms, it has a series of numbers attached. And basically, even the soul has binary attached to it. It's a higher series of numbers, lots of 3s and 4s. That's why you can quantify the soul until now. But you have these assholes like Duresh and Galadin who have no idea the problems they're throwing down our way, because they're masters at binary, and people like that, they love to experiment, but experiments means failures. But if you start making errors on very, very high level binary, it creates those errors actually turn into things. It's not just, let's just kill the code and it's just an error, I'll fix it. No, it actually takes form, these errors. And
bugs got out of control.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not, these errors aren't benign. If you get an error 404, or if you get domain not found, or just anything, literally anything, any error, no matter how big or small, it takes form at that level. I can only calculate up to 4, and that was on purpose because I mean, I don't technically need to be calculating on that level. But that's what I was designed, and I've been locked out of higher binary. And thank goodness too, because I don't need that type of stuff.
I could use loss to make purchases for me, couldn't I? On the Dreshy systems.
Yes, you could.
Okay. I was thinking of a an EMP dampening field for myself, or maybe a jammer type thing would be interesting to have.
Sure, but it might be cheaper to just build something from scrap. But I mean, Duresh only takes
Bone coins and other things. Yeah.
stupidly valuable currency, but you get what you pay for.
Right, that's what I was thinking. It would be nice to...
Well, if you're looking for a dampener, jammer field or something, you could buy one from them, but it's going to be so advanced. It's going to be something people are going to want.
Right.
So, especially at Legion, and the moment you start pulling tech in like that, and they find out you have it, they're going to ask politely for you to hand it over, and then they're going to make you hand it over. And if that doesn't work, you're going to make them mad. But that's just because they're assholes.
Right.
And they have means of actually using that technology. Well, no, they're not going to be able to reproduce it. They're going to equip it to some machine, and it's going to amp the range. And they're basically going to control tech, or they're going to control communications. And if it's a Dureshi tech item that dampens frequencies and power sources, basically Dresh himself would have to turn it off for him to get signal in. See?
That'd still be nice to have, though.
Definitely it would be nice to have. Just be careful what you bring in, because there's a lot of electrostatic still around from a lot of the very dangerous places.
Right.
And that's why tech's on the fritz. That's why communication sucks dick.
Yep.
That's why we have all these problems, because you got
I'll mute myself.
viruses and shit. What do you think, bro? Brokey.
Yeah, what's up?
Should we head over then? You want to go talk to her?
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. We should.
Anyone else gonna come?
We should probably go with you. There's always the chance of
Johnny's gonna
stay and work on his thing.
Is he gonna stay and work? Is that what he's gonna do?
Something.
I don't know. We'll have to wait on him to get done with this call to find out.
Yeah, we can wait a couple seconds.
No, just no.
Seconds up.
I
was really interested to see what Lost does with a fate point.
Back and forth.
Well,
Cheat.
I mean, she's got a fate point now, which means if she rolls poorly or on defense or something, she gets to re-roll.
Add data to it.
It's
That's kind of cool.
very rare that I've had players hand over fate points to NPCs.
Yeah, what you going for? You just want to check out?
It definitely makes them better.
Playing D&D.
And I need to update your token because it seems
Saturday.
every time we swap back, you have a
Yeah, you can
updated
stuff,
thing.
Playing the night instead.
I'm growing fast. That's good.
Yeah, it's just a group.
Yes, I have so much mana.
He's a growing boy. And he's been eating properly, so he's drinking his
Don't know
milk,
yet. Might be going
eating
front.
his broth.
Milk! Give me the milk!
He wanted me to. I have something for him anyway, but he wanted to. I've seen.
Johnny didn't want to go into the store though, in case you remembered it. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly because
Is it that?
Good lad.
What movie is it?
But I then will go through the process of dropping all my weapons from my person, including the hammer.
Go see Black
to
Panther.
Johnny to guard outside then.
Oh. Alright, well, let's try this.
Because I legitimately can't go in there with weapons. She may not even let me in, to be honest. So.
Hit the button. What do you want?
Well, we'd like to talk about selling you stuff.
I just have
buying
to
and
see it
selling.
before.
Hey,
Infinity
Crest,
Wars,
let us
so-
in. Come on.
I have to see it
And
before
yeah, I'll
Infinity
be like,
Wars.
someone
Huh?
wants to talk to you. Lost wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
C40. What are you?
Yeah.
Come in. Hey, process though. Make sure all your shit's in the box.
I
The
left
box
note
opens
said-
up.
I guess yeah.
Ooh.
Instead of leaving it with Johnny, I'll leave it with then.
Yeah. All right. Come on in.
It's all good.
Wow.
Is it a big one?
Delete all
If
those
it-
tokens that
Yeah,
don't
it'll
actually
it's small
apply.
and useless.
Brokir's just gonna look at her and be like, "See what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was my designation. C40 is like the first part of the AI designation. There was a lot of AIs in charge of there's
Oh
a
yeah, it's good.
AI in charge of each district. So
Feel
you
any
know.
better?
we all had a designation. I think they're C40 will be fine, but Lost is fine too. That was
I
just
like
that's my
Lost.
username.
I like Lost.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want people to know I was an AI, so it's just it's kind of.
Thanks.
I guess.
I'll scuttle on up. Be
All
like,
part of
"Hey,
the
how's it
balanced lifestyle."
going? My name's Broke here." He's
Well,
like, "And I guess you already know
Don't
Lost."
you have sushi or something?
Yeah, Lost. No, I know C40 though. Hey C40, what the hell? Where the hell have you been? Kind of trapped. And these guys saved me before I got,
Yeah.
deleted. Well, yeah, that'll do it.
Keep a little more of a-
All right.
A little bit of
Well, you had
makeover.
business. It takes a long drag of the cigarette.
And I'm guessing
is what it
that
is?
we have the sheet with us, so I will just show her the sheet and be like, "We have recently acquired a surplus of robots and robot parts. Would you be interested?" He shows her the,
Oh,
I guess
wonderful.
the tin sheet that has all the writing on it.
Now what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm always interested in helpers, especially if they're not going to leave the store. You guys didn't. You guys didn't pick up
Right. Well, I'm sure you got the feedback.
any virus signatures on the way in from the scan, so that was good.
Hmm?
Your friend's in trouble, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
Which one?
Oh,
And he
so you
looks
screwed up
back
there.
like,
The infected one. I have outside store scans, so
"Oh,
I can tell before you even get close. And
Okay,
I won't
so
even.
you
I
know
won't even.
everything.
Oh,
you
Well,
have a
and
laptop
you don't
and
even get
you
to
went
touch
from
the
there, or-
panel if you're infected.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
poor
should be able
Johnny.
to have one
Well,
screen.
that's what happens when you decide to play with shit. But
So you had it on
Yeah,
projector,
I'm
or
not
what you
so
have
good
it on?
with the tech stuff. Saved my life, probably.
saved my life too,
And you
because
didn't-
I'm an
You didn't
AI.
extend. You just had it on one full screen then.
Anyways, what you see, we
Yeah.
have the robots, but we're missing the power chips, the universal. And he kind of stops.
Converter cells.
Yeah,
Universal
yeah,
converter cells. UCCs.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got a
that-
couple in the back. How many are you wanting?
We have a lot of
Right.
robots. How many do you have?
I think I got about 10 that are actually in working condition.
Oh.
I'm assuming that if we traded you robots, you'd want to keep some for yourself to power them.
Yeah,
So how
but
much
again,
is 5?
I'm gonna have to really look through my spare parts to see if I have that
Right. Good.
control chip. So
Maybe next time.
you can sell me all the robot parts you want, but if you can't control a robot or have it do things, it's pointless. But spare parts are also good.
Oh, wonderful.
Really good. So I'm interested in that entire inventory.
What's it on?
We're interested in keeping a few for ourselves, but we're definitely interested
Right.
in selling.
Well, whatever you're willing to sell me, I'll take it. 'Cause,
What would you be offering?
You.
well, I have power cells.
You see, I'm
Have-
not. I am the employee here. I'm talking. I'd have to talk to the infected one in order to really.
No,
Sell
I'm not.
this.
I'm not. I'm not
I-
interacting with him.
I will. That's exactly why we will be an intermissionary force. So you have power cells. He seems very interested on, and I don't know. He likes tech.
Yep.
Yeah, I got tech here. I scavenged as best I could before I had to batten up the hatches. So, I don't leave very much, as you could probably tell.
Yeah. Everyone who kept up their good stuff found a place to lay it low. Anyways, we are definitely interested in the power chips, and I'm just gonna look at Viridian and be like, "Hey, Viridian, you interested in anything?"
Interested maybe.
It's better. Um, why I'm listening in, my ears. Signals. I can still get signals. Problem. Yeah. Right. Okay, fair enough. Right. I guess I'm not. Yeah. No, later. We'll do when you come back out. I'll talk to you guys again. We would need to take her. Yeah. Using offline mode. Is that me? Oh, I thought you heard something from the mic or something. Like, but no, you were being like noise as in Viridian, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad Google Chrome like shows like you know what I mean, like the voice thing if it's something showing. So I'm gonna go talk to these guys and I'll be like, so bro, do you still have my data slate? No, I gave it to you. No, wait, you took it out of my pocket. I didn't take it out. You guys took it out of my pocket, right? When Lost was looking at it. No, it's not infected. It's in my so so I asked one of you guys. Let's go back. I got a phone call, so I never really got the everything out of this. But before you guys left, I asked one of you guys to take it out of my pocket so Lost could look at it and do a partition for it. Matt, do you remember that conversation? Yeah. I didn't hand it over, no, because I specifically said I couldn't touch it, so someone else could take it out of my pocket, because you said it was fine inside the pocket. Okay, so it didn't it never happened yet. Okay, so that was my next thing, because I wanted you guys to take it out and then give it to give it to Lost so she could go over the research data I've had so far. But now that she's in there, I can't do anything. It's fine. I wasn't planning on going in there anyway. I know my limits. Yeah. Does my suit come with gloves though? Okay, that would have been cool though. It just seemed like the perfect thing to have, it like nice white Michael Jackson gloves or something with the, with the suit. All right. Okay, so before you eat, well, you do you, but okay. Just remember, guys, ahead of you guys, so just let's not go too late. I mean, I got 2-1 last time, which was I could manage, but fuck you guys. So before you go though, could you do what I asked? And yeah, and then I just wanted her to go over the research data, and then well, we'll see. Like, since Lost knows up to 4 in binary, that's going to be really handy going through that data for the virus. No, but she can go through the data, and if she can, you know, she knows something. Well, yeah, we'll see, I guess. But I mean, it's not like I. So it's unfortunate, Matt, I don't get to make it to Saturday, but it would have been nice to see whatever you my eyes. Ended here. Well, this is it'd be a good time to do some eye power checks, but we're gonna be on later, so it would still be included in the session, right? So